Welcome to the EMA Trading Indicator. This indicator allows the user to easily interpret information from multiple EMAs in a singular line. The line plotted is the last EMA value selected by the user. The default value is set to 100. We'll talk about the values in just a moment. The indicator is meant to display a safe area for long positions represented by the line being green. An unsafe area shows an area where an uptrend may be reversing and is represented by orange. If you have an open long position while the line is orange, you may look to close the position. Not safe means you should not have a long position open and is indicated by red. All of these colors can be changed by the user. As far as the algorithm is concerned, if the line is green, which we said earlier was safe for long positions, that means that the EMA1 length is above every other EMA value specified by the user. Let us put that into perspective really quickly. You'll see here we have the EMA 9, 26, 50, and 100. Let me adjust this to 5 and 10, as this is what our EMA Trading Indicator used. And I'm going to go ahead and remove the 5th EMA plot here, as our indicator only uses 4. So now here on these inputs, we'll see we have 5, 10, 50, and 100. I'll go ahead and turn that on. And that's what our EMA Trading Indicator is using. Actually, let me turn off the yellow one because that's our 100 EMA and it's interfering with the color of the line. So now we know this is the 100 EMA. And here we're looking at our inputs. We'll talk about how to change each one of these. And these are our EMA links. So basically, I've set up our EMA crosses here. So that way we can see what it actually looks like, what is going on whenever we get a green line, what's happening when we get an orange line, and what's happening when we get a red line. So let's go ahead and zoom in here, and we can see that the first EMA value, when it is above the second EMA value, and both of these values are above the third EMA value, the line is green. So we'll see here, the first EMA is on top of the second EMA, and they cross right here. Now they crossed, so the first EMA is underneath the second EMA, and the line turns orange. Since they are both above the third EMA, it is still orange. If these two were to cross below right here, the line were to turn red. As we see just a little bit ahead, we have the cross here, which turns the line orange, and then they cross underneath the blue line, which turns it red, seemingly comes back above, and it goes back below, which turns it red. Here they cross up again, which turns it green. Then these two cross and turn it orange, and then they cross back below the blue and turn it red again. So that's what's happening inside of the algorithm of the indicator. And if we just change this really quickly to 9 and 26, for example, then we'll go ahead and change this here. Now we see that when the 9 crosses the 26, it turns orange. And whenever the 9 crosses underneath the 50, or the first EMA crosses underneath the third EMA, it turns red. So that's how the colors are generated, and it defeats us having to have multiple EMAs. Now we can just look at all the information by a singular line. And if we were to change this to 200, then that is the line that would be plotted here. You can see now it drops back down. I'll turn this back on and we'll plot our orange line. You can see that's where it comes up. So you can change this to whatever you like, and you don't need the EMA cross for the script to work. I just wanted to use that for instructional purposes. Now we'll go ahead and remove it and talk explicitly about the EMA Trading Indicator. Coming back to the inputs, I'll start at 5 and 10 because those are the default values. Let me go ahead and get the colors to change correspondingly. All right, now the colors have changed here. So to get to your inputs tab, you're gonna wanna click the settings. Then you can change whatever EMA length you want. So remember, the first EMA length is the shortest one. And whenever it crosses the second one is when you'll get the orange color. Now, after these two have crossed, when EMA 1 crosses EMA 3, you'll get that red color. And the fourth EMA is to tell you and show you the plot at which everything is happening. So you can change these to whatever you'd like. That's how you can change them. Moving forward into style, we can go ahead and see here that plot. So if you wanted to change the area that we have deemed safe, you can change this green line to whatever you'd like. If you wanted to change the area that we have deemed unsafe or caution, you can change it to yellow or whatever you'd like that would make sense to you. I'll just go ahead and put it right back there. And then for color 2, you can put that to whatever you'd like. This is the area that is deemed not safe or where we should look to close any long positions. If you wanted to put that to purple or whatever makes sense for you, you can go ahead and put it to whatever makes sense for you. So we'll just go ahead and leave it at these colors. Now for the precision, we have an NA value. So labels on price scale is an NA value on this script as well. Here, values in status line. If we click this, it takes off the value that is shown right here. Let me go ahead and put it on really quickly to show you. I'll close this now, and we can see we have a number here. Wherever I hover the cursor, it's going to give me that value. And if it's orange or red or whatever color we've chosen, it's going to tell me as well. So if I want to go to this candlestick and get this value from my EMA Trading Indicator plot, if it's the 200, which it is in this case, or if we change it, just go ahead and change it to the 100 really quickly. Then we'll go back. So this is what is automatically populated, and we hover over it. We can see the value right here. So then you can go ahead and turn that on or off. And if I turn it off, now it doesn't show up. So we'll go ahead and turn it back on. And then for visibility, this just allows you to see whatever time frame you're working with. If you're scalping on the minutes time frame and you want to observe, let's just say for example, you only want to see the 1 minute through the 5 minute, but not on the 15 minute, then you can put this here up to the 1 through 5 minutes is allowed. And then you can see here, it works on the 3 minute, it works on the 1 minute, it works on the 5 minute. And now if we go to the 15 minute, it's not going to be there because we have chosen that it won't be there. We can go to the hourly and it'll be there. And again, if we change this and we say, okay, well, we don't want it to be on the 4 hour, we want it to be on 1, 2, and 3. Then we can go to 1, 2, and 3. There it is on the 1 hour, on the 2 hour, and on the 3 hour. But when we get to the 4 hour, it won't be there because we have chosen on the visibility that we don't want it to be there. So let's just go ahead and restore all the visibility. Now we're going to talk about alerts. You can set them on any asset in any time frame. So you're going to want to come right here to the indicator name, click these 3 dots, go to add alert. The first one that comes auto-populated is EMA Trading Indicator. We also have BTC USDT. We'll talk about that next. So here, whenever we have EMA Trading Indicator crossing, what that means is when the EMA crosses the value that we specify here, which is going to auto-populate different based upon the asset you're looking at in current market structure, we're going to get an alert. So to put that in perspective, let's just go ahead and put this at 20,100. So now we see our line is right here. So when the EMA value comes up and crosses this, at this point, we're going to get an alert because that is when it has crossed up. Now on that note, anytime it crosses this value, so if the EMA were to come here and continue to come back down, we would get another alert right here because this is set to crossing. If it were set to crossing up, only when it crossed up would we get an alert and not when it crossed down. So if it crossed up and then came back down, we would not get an alert at that point if it was set to crossing up. So this can be valuable if you're looking to target an upwards movement. If you set it to crossing down, then if the value is set below, for example, 19,840, when price comes below here, we're going to get an alert at that point. But if price comes back up, we're not going to get an alert here. But if price comes back down again, we'll get an alert at that point based upon the crossing down. So they each have their different uses. Then you can choose how long you want the alert to run for, what kind of action you want taken, the name, and even a message if you'd like. I'm just going to leave it nameless for the presentation. Let me get rid of these drawings really quick. So for the next one, we have BTC USDT. Now we can go ahead and put here for value, EMA Trading Indicator. And when price action crosses the EMA line, which in this case we're on the 1 minute time frame, and you can set it to any time frame, remember. If we set it to crossing, if price action crosses at any point, we'll get an alert. If we set to cross up, when the candlesticks come from the bottom as they are now, and they cross above, we'll get an alert if it crosses above. If we set it to cross down, When candlesticks are trading above that line and it trades below and crosses, then we'll get an alert at that point. And again, you can choose how long you want it to run for, the actions, name, and message. So after you configure how you want your alert to be triggered, you just choose create, and it'll trigger at the action you specify. For the demonstration, we were showing Bitcoin, but we'll show just a couple different assets really quickly. I'll just go ahead and type in a couple things that come to mind. So we got Litecoin. Take a look at Mana. We can take a look at a couple stocks. I'll go Tesla. A little bit choppy there. Don't like the stock market. Take a look at Apple. Looks like in a downtrend, no green line because the EMAs don't tell us. Here in this short uptrend, we got the green line because the EMAs tell us. Now we'll take a look at some Forex. We'll go GBP. Take a look at USD and JPY. So there it is against USD, giving us green in the uptrends, no green in the downtrends or consolidations. And we'll take a look at JPY. There we go, nice uptrend there. And it crosses below, gives us red to get out of the long. So there you go, it works on any asset, crypto, stock, Forex in real time. And we've already explained how the algorithm works at the beginning of the video, how you can customize the inputs to get exactly what you want out of the indicator. So now all you have to do is follow the link in the description to get this indicator on your chart and configure it to start trading with it today. Thanks for watching.